accuses INEC of bias in her recall. Natasha has no respect for rules, laws, Kogi government.
Yeah, nobody can stop me from coming home, and nobody could stop her from coming home. I think the Kogi state government, what's the name of their governor again? Ododo. I think he needs to gather himself and tidy up himself and the local government chairman who issued a daylight curfew because the politician was coming to town. Things are not done like that. They just subjected themselves to ridicule. If she was going to come back, rather than see what happens with these things is that what you think you want to quell, you heighten. If they had jolly well left out and she had a rally, by today it would be over. She won't be making front page news. I don't know. I think people need to take a cue. By the way, I need to, I haven't had the opportunity, but I need to congratulate the First Lady of the Federation, Mrs. Remi Tinubu, for the very matured way she handled the School of Nursing incident.
Oh.
Yes, the president's handlers need to take a cue from the way she handled that. And just quelled it. We see, when you are in authority, you need to take a good reading and take a deep thought. Sometimes what you want to quell, you heighten by your action. So yesterday there was a curfew, and the curfew was with immediate effect. How can you have a curfew with immediate effect? So if I've left Lagos now to go and say hello to somebody, I have to stay there till the following day. Well, this is not governance. And said there was curfew with immediate effect, which restricts movement and gatherings in designated areas. This was the local government chairman. Anyone found lodging or assembling in restricted zones without clearance from the relevant authorities, I need clearance to be found in what they term a restricted zone. What kind of governance is this? This is in line with the directives of the state government and Kogi State Commissioner of Police. The safety and security of our people are our top priority. We will not tolerate any action. The woman came in by helicopter. Don't forget, this was this same woman, this same Kogi government, not under what do you call it? Ododo. Was the ones who divided the road. You don't need all these things. You see, what you have done is to make this woman more popular. Unfortunately, even like Senator Ogunlewe said, this is a very pretty woman. She's exceptionally brilliant.
Yes.
Yes. And in reality, you are fueling her rise. I won't be surprised if she runs for governorship in the next election and beats these people silly.
Yeah. I think friend Fubara needs to take some notes from her.
No, their circumstances are different and their personalities are different.
Okay.
No, Fubara can go. No, you see, a lot of these things fall within what you can handle. You understand what I'm saying? Fubara is not somebody who can handle all this. Fubara, in my own estimation, did a few things wrong. However, if you study his character, some of the things he was expected to do, he can't do. So it's okay. It's all right. Know thyself, not a kill person. But the worrying part was where she accused certain persons of wanting to kill her. I'll leave naming those persons out of it, even though the names are in the newspaper. But to accuse people of wanting to kill you, I have to be very careful here so that we are not joined in any kind of suit. It's a very serious accusation. She said she has made the reports to the police. I hope those reports have been noted. But with politicians, we have to be very careful. Tomorrow you can see them clinking glasses as if nothing happened, but you still have a suit filed somewhere, and I don't think I want to go down that route. So yes, the most important thing is she came in by chopper, beats everybody.
Oh man!
Beats everybody hands down, and then the Kogi government says that she has no respect for rules and laws, but the Kogi government itself they have no respect for strategic thinking. You must have some strategic thinking. And you must respect somebody is opposed to you. Why do we make it look as if you know everything within our environment belongs to us? As we always tend to do that. We always tend to do that as a people, especially those in power. And all these tactics will not work. The state commissioner said the attention of the Kogi state has been drawn to the reckless, malicious, and utterly fake, false allegation made by suspended. If she's made an allegation against the former governor or whatever, immediately take her to court. You don't need to. Your attention has been drawn. When everybody has heard it, you say your attention has been drawn. You know. Okay, so anyway, that's what it is. If you want to read the full story, I think it's in all the papers and it's on all the TV networks. The social media is full of it. And Natasha is somebody to watch. She might jolly well be the next female governor we might have.
Yeah.
Somebody to watch.
She deserves it.
As to judgment on what she is doing, I want to make it clear that in the case of Akpabio, I support Natasha so that we can stop this from happening to other women. Whether she's playing a trick, whatever it is, something has gone down. Akpabio himself has not issued what I would call a strong defense. Rather, his wife has gone to court. I want an example made of somebody who has been harassing women, because we have that problem down the line. Female students, female workers, and so on and so on. And there is no level at which this doesn't happen. And one of the ways by which we hope we'll be able to, we can't stop it, but curtail it, is when we make an example of 3 or 4 prominent people, and that is my target. As for the other things, that's I'm not too bothered about that.
Mr. Disu, sorry about it here, but you talked about the curfew and how a local government chairman can rise up in the middle of the day, hot afternoon, and say, declare a curfew. How will people go home? You know, those of us who lived in River State for some years, we saw it all. Some of the things that
it could happen.
The rest of Nigerians have seen. Yeah, we've seen curfews declared on just once on a street.
Those of us
if you live on that street, you can't. I remember one day.
Those of us who are around in the days of the military, there was a coup that took place, I think, in 75 or so, and the coup plotters said on radio that there was curfew from dawn to dusk. You know, that's what they announced on radio. So we couldn't go out during the day, but we could go out at night.
I remember during the COVID, we got some. I was going through some old Facebook posts, and I saw where I was asking when I heard somebody give a speech. You know, that curfew, Rivers curfew was confusing. Rivers COVID time was confusing. Some days you don't know what was happening. So he said dusk to dusk, or so we went. Wait, was it dawn to dawn or dusk to dawn or dusk? Everybody was confused.
You know, in those days, you guys are enjoying now. Back in the day, there was only one radio station, Radio Nigeria, and at least in Lagos, and there was maybe WNTV, MBS in Ibadan, but mainly Lagos. And to hear on radio that it has been said from dawn to dusk. We didn't even know. People didn't know what to do. But we went out in Benin. We went out.
Oh, wow.
And we said we were against the coup. And I was there.
Oh.
Yes.
You paid your dues.
We came Mahmoud, all of the Taiwo Gwefon, Taye Davis, all of them. Wow. We hit the streets. Said no. In support of Muritala then.
Wow. All right.
We've been at it for long.
Yes. Interesting. That book, sir. That book.
No, there's no book.
That book. You must write that book, sir.
No, I'm not writing that book. Yeah, let's go.
All right. Today's Vanguard comment: National Assembly weakening our democracy.
Yes. And I support the Vanguard. This current National Assembly really have done a lot of damage to that institution, in my estimation. They haven't lived up to the billing in any manner possible. So I'm asking myself, is it the leadership or the member? For example, you would have thought that the National Assembly would do some things to endear themselves to the people. Rather, they are quite brazen. Buying cars that they want, getting salaries that we still can't. How is it said that I can, on touch of a button, I know what Donald Trump earns? Here, I don't know what my senator takes home. It's funny. So the Vanguard argues that since Bola Tinubu was sworn in as president in May 2023, the National Assembly has returned to its default mode. Tinubu, who was once a very influential senator during IBB's time, is a strong believer of a president having full control of the legislature. That's the way he operates. Right from the general elections and the emergence of the current National Assembly, led by Akpabio and Speaker Abbas of the House of Reps, Tinubu called the shots to position his loyalists in the leadership. He has also been very generous to them, in quotes. The National Assembly and the Supreme Court were among the first to benefit from Tinubu's hundreds of billions of welfare packages to make them comfortable. That has not been extended to doctors and other critical areas. I keep fighting for that of doctors because our health is in their hands. But that's a story for another day. The Vanguard still says that it's not surprising that Tinubu's critics, particularly former President Obasanjo and Vice President Atiku, were among those who have directly accused the lawmakers of being compromised to support the president's declaration of state of emergency and sack of democratic structures in Rivers State. While many lawmakers have denied the allegation, listen to this, Kofi. While many lawmakers have denied the allegation, the chairman of the House of Reps Committee on FCT was caught red-handed sharing $5,000, and he claimed it was a Salah gift. From who? For, and then why in dollars? What for? Which Salah? This immediately brought back the episode where Senate President Akpabio on camera told senators that money, which he later called prayers, have been sent to their accounts to enable them enjoy the recess they were embarking on. It's a shame. Like my good friend Uche would say, it's a big shame. What we are running, in my mind, is close to almost a racket. Honestly, this is definitely not democracy. Definitely. Massive institutional corruption has put our democracy on the path of failure. The National Assembly has apparently given up its function of checks and balances, and public confidence in it has been eroded. The NAS has largely abdicated its function of representation. This is unacceptable. What is worse is that I don't think the members care about all these editorials and criticisms and whatever. I don't think that we don't see them coming to put up any reasonable argument in defense. What would you say, for example, you are giving $5,000 as a Salah gift? You know? Our social organs of conscience must rise to bring back our National Assembly. Do we have the capacity? I don't think so. Poverty has wrecked that initiative in us. We are so knocked out poverty-wise that people are ready to take the smallest of handouts from anybody just to keep alive. But the Vanguard argues that if we do not recover our wayward representatives, we will wake up one day and find ourselves in a dictatorship worse than military rule. And that day, I think, might be nearer than you think.
This is surprising, but I'm sure the story itself is the reason. The Nation newspaper, Edo Tribunal rules today in Igodalo's Okwebelo's petition.
Yes, I had a bet with somebody that I know the way this thing is going to go, given the Nigerian factor. But it's not for me to come on air and say. So I'm not expectant. I don't think I'm going to be surprised. Because somehow one gets the impression that justice might not be really construed on how well you handle your case, present your facts and the law. Somehow one tends to believe sometimes that there could be extraneous circumstances that dictate these things. So I'll wait to see if there's going to be a surprise, but I'm going to go about my normal work because I think I have a fair idea which way it will go. But we're all expectant. The APC and PDP fight at the courts, at the tribunal, and by this time tomorrow, we'll probably have a lawyer here who will be doing some analysis on the case. So that's it. Just get yourself ready in a few hours, maybe by 12 noon.
Have you heard there's a judgment circulating?
Yes, yes. Even when I heard that, and it won't be the first time. But not just that. One thing that is also worrying is the rates at which government documents fly all over the place. Who knows? Maybe the one that is circulating is authentic. You never know. Maybe it was put together by some mischief makers. You never know. But the judgment is ready. We'll wait patiently. We won't make any reference to what is flying around. Just sit back and wait patiently.
It reminds me of when WAEC question paper leaks. It's been a while since I heard that. So Disu, it's an unusual run for the nation newspaper this morning, but I know it's because of the nature of the stories. This is another interesting one. 5 major banks declare 4.56 trillion naira full year profit. Net gains after tax grew by 66.2%. Assets of top financial institutions hit 100 trillion naira.
Yeah, I know you're probably referring to the ownership of the nation. They try to make it appear as if they're putting up some kind of balance, but if you do a thorough analysis, you will know that the piper plays the tune in this paper nation. But I found this story, I like it that is an exclusive, and I commend them for that. And newspapers more and more should be striving to get exclusive stories than the run-of-the-mill stories to put on front page. And it says here that 5 major banks have declared 456 trillion, and they say net gains after tax grew by 66.2%. Assets of top financial institutions hit 100 trillion. Let me take the first paragraph. The Nigerian banking industries appeared resilient amid the changing macroeconomic landscape and ongoing banking recapitalization. Pre-tax profit for 5 major Tier 1 banks rose by about 70% to 4.56 trillion in 2024. Is this an indication that our banks are healthy? Well, you'll need some experts to talk about that. I usually don't, I'm not in the habit of talking authoritatively on things that are beyond my expertise. But at face value, it looks like we don't seem to be doing badly if 5 major banks have declared 456 trillion full year profits.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, but we'll get a Bismarck or somebody here one of these days.
All right, that'll be good to see.
Yes,
good to see. Back to the Vanguard this morning. Vanguard on page 5 has the following story: killings Uromi on lockdown by security operatives. Police, military, plainclothes security officers at strategic junctions. FCID takes over investigation. Residents angry with the government over poor response to kidnappings. Killings by gunmen. All right, killings by gunmen. Blame mob action on frustration caused by government's inaction. Fears of reprisals still high. Take decisive action against jungle justice. Igbo community in Kano tells FG others. CSO asks FG to address a rising wave of violence insecurity.
Well, this is what is called keeping with the story, okay? Every day you tend to want to give an update, but there's not much news, it's different from what we knew yesterday. What we're waiting for patiently is we're waiting for the full report, security report on what actually took place. That is what I think is what we're waiting for.
All right.
The full security report on what actually took place. That is what is most important. All these are reactions, part of which we had yesterday.
Liberals was on the newsroom yesterday on Nigerian Food's news program, and he's from Edo State. He said that, is it Delta State maybe?
He's from Edo State.
Yeah. He said that when the vigilante attempted to search all the trucks, and that particular truck as they were searching, conducting stop and search, they refused to allow them search, and one of the passengers stabbed a member of the vigilante group. That's what led to the reaction.
Well, Libros wasn't there. This is hearsay. That's why you must be very, very careful and wait till you get a full report.
All right.
What he's saying is hearsay. I can't go by what he said. It wasn't as if he was an eyewitness. So one has to be very, very careful. So I'll wait patiently until we have a clear idea of what actually took place.
Police bust syndicate trafficking girls to Mauritania.
Yeah.
4 cultists planned attack, arrest 54-year-old suspect in Ogun. I received 50,000 naira each for each lady trafficked for prostitution. Suspect.
Honestly, when I saw this story, I was surprised. This is on page 6 of the Vanguard. That you see, unfortunately, there's a mindset amongst a lot of Nigerians. They just want to board the next. It's the lure of travel that is making some people jackpot. In all honesty, they just want to board the next place. That's why they will go to places like Libya, war-torn areas like Libya. Only for them, of course, by the time you're there for 1 week, you ask yourself why you ever left home.
Abroad.
Yes, abroad. Yes, it's just the lure of travel. To be some of them. I've heard some people say they've said it in their prayers. No, call on me, kima wa, kima lo, kima so I can be coming and going and coming and going. Otherwise, what is it? What is the attraction in Mauritania? I mean, and it says here that apparently there's a syndicate that is running girls as usual, and what we need to, and we will knock to the newly packaged orientation agency. That's one of the things they have to focus on to change the mindset of Nigerians. This idea that I must leave the country at whatever cost. They need to be well educated about the circumstances they might be facing. It says there, for each lady trafficked for prostitution, a suspect says he received 50,000. Okay. He said arrested were 2 suspected female members of the syndicate. There's a recruiting base at Ipaja Ayobo area of Lagos. Yeah. The police PRO said that confirmed arrested human traffic syndicate was busted on March 22, 2025 by a zonal intelligence response squad. Gave identity of the suspect as Stella Edem and Susan Michael. Stella Edem confessed to the crime. She said she was introduced to one Annabelle, a female who is based in Mauritania, by Rosemary Azaya Otobong, a female who has been prosecuted for the same offense and is currently serving jail term in Nigeria. She added that Annabelle contacted her to recruit young girls below the age of 22 to be used as sex workers. You want to leave Nigeria to go and do akuna work in Mauritania, and that she was paid 50,000 as commission. She confessed that amongst the girls recruited is her 19-year-old daughter, adding that she has so far received a total of 500,000 from Annabelle. Her accomplice, Susan Michael, confessed to have been contacted by Stella Edem to recruit young girls to serve as domestic staff in Mauritania, but on further inquiries, she discovered the girls were to be used as sex workers. Now, I need to explain that. You probably be thinking sex workers means, okay, sleeping with men in hotel and brothels. Yes, but sometimes they're used for things worse than that. They're used for what do you call this thing now? They're used for porn, all these porn films and so on and so forth, in which, of course, sometimes they have to sleep with animals, sometimes they are raped, sometimes they're treated rough. And our girls should be educated. Stay home and find something. To be fair, our people don't think, a lot of young people, I'm sorry to say, like Lagos State government, for example, has loads of programs where you can be trained, and they even give you money to start up a business. They don't want to do that. Like I said, it's the lure of going in a plane, traveling somewhere, telling everybody I'm going abroad, that pushes them, and some of them disappear from the face of the earth. You don't get to see them again. I'd like us to tell our young people, young ladies, please stay back home. Don't go into the unknown. Don't go. Don't think that, for example, when they tell you that, okay, you're going into prostitution, it might not end there. It might jolly well not end there. Some of the stories we hear are mind-boggling. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. New Telegraph has its run today, and this is an interesting story on page 25. Couples who have regular sex prone to long life? Oh, okay. I thought I saw phone there. Expert.
Yeah.
Ah.
No. I know you're talking. But it's medical advice. A consultant family physician, Dr. Disu, had said couples who engage in regular sex tend to live longer than those with less frequent sexual activity. In fact, it is said that people are encouraged to be sexually active, sometimes to boost their health. And I've heard of cases where, especially with women, sometimes they are told, legitimate, of course, we don't mean sleep around, but that sometimes it can boost your health, it can boost your morale, and it can brighten you up, and it can also help maybe in some ways with all this mental stress and whatever that we have here. So that's why I thought to do that. I didn't bring the story for you to chuckle. No, I wasn't thinking that way, but I was thinking at it strictly, calm down. Just calm down. I was looking at this strictly from a medical
point of view. I know.
Look at what he said. This is a physician, Dr. Adewumi, said that sex has a range of health benefits, including improving lifespan, boosting the immune system, promoting better sleep, lowering blood pressure, and reducing mental and physical strength. He explained that regular sex could also lower the risk of stroke and heart attack, alleviate body pain and headaches, and even help prevent certain cancers. He says regular sex reduces the risk of prostate and breast cancer. For men, ejaculating 21 times a month significantly lowers the risk of prostate cancer.
Some men are listening, sir, and they are saying, I said it.
Well, that's up to them. This is a medical. This is a medical.
Someone said, and it's interesting to hear from the.
And you haven't finished yet. It also helps bury calories, making it a good option for those who are overweight or obese. That is, acts like regular exercise. This is said by a physician, said by a doctor.
All right. Interesting.
Can't you just keep a straight face when you hear things like this?
No.
You don't get excited.
I've never heard this kind of. It's usually during the for me. All right. Anyway, it's good. This is back to the Vanguard on page 12. Kindred disown ex-Rivers head of service. Call for probe. This thing is still there. It's not going away. George and Wake, I think it's staying.
Yes. I can't put my finger on that so-called revelation. We have to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Just have a sentence.
Let's just leave it.
All right. We have Debumi coming up today.
Yes, at 9:00.
All right. Thank you very much. And that's the size of Dailies today. And his name is Jimi Disu. My name is Kofi Bartels. He'll be back at 9:00. I'll be back at 8:00 after the news. We continue the morning crossfire. Please stay with us. Good morning.
99.3 Nigeria We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.